All Cars, a copyrighted program created by the Rio Grande Oil Company.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars. Attention all cars. Broadcast 100 regarding a shooting at a theater in Westwood. Stand by for further details. That's all. Rosenquist.
Thousands of boys and girls have joined the Rio Grande Junior Police Department and now proudly wear genuine metal police badges and carry siren whistles, police handcuffs, police pistols, and other detective equipment. The complete junior detective outfit is furnished free of charge to every youngster who enlists in Rio Grande's war on crime. For pictures and descriptions of these free gifts, see the latest issue of the Calling All Cars News, which any independent dealer selling Rio Grande cracked gasoline will gladly give you absolutely free. The connection between Western police departments and the Rio Grande Oil Company is a unique one. To aid police to prevent crime, executives of the Rio Grande Oil Company dig deep into official police records and get the facts for these true radio programs and the true detective stories in the Calling All Cars News. And to aid police in catching criminals and lawbreakers, Rio Grande has created a gasoline which is quite different from other motor fuels. It is made by the most costly refining process known, called cracking. And Rio Grande's fine new cracking plant is the only one in the West licensed to produce gasoline by this patented process. Police officials of leading cities and counties in California and Arizona have tested all gasolines. And they have chosen the special process Rio Grande cracked gasoline to power more police cars, ambulances, motorcycles, and other emergency equipment than any other brand. And this is exactly the same Rio Grande cracked gasoline featured by independent service stations, because although it is costlier to manufacture, Rio Grande cracked sells at competitive prices. Its greater efficiency gives you more miles per gallon. So by using Rio Grande cracked gasoline in your car, you can enjoy police car performance at no extra cost. Once more, we are pleased to present Chief James E. Davis of the Los Angeles Police Department. Chief Davis.
Good evening, friends. Tonight is the 100th broadcast of Calling All Cars. It was with a certain amount of misgiving that I appeared on that first broadcast 100 weeks ago tonight. But my desire to bring the policeman's side of the story to the public outweighed the fear of possible criticism. The public spirit and civic-mindedness of the Rio Grande Oil Company in maintaining these broadcasts, and the unflagging zeal of William N. Robeson, their author and producer, in dramatically presenting them have justified my decision. In that first broadcast, nearly 2 years ago, I remember saying that I hoped as you listened to these programs, you would have a deeper understanding of your friend, the policeman, and a keener realization of the constant battle he wages to keep your city a decent place in which to live. I believe now that nearly 2 years have passed that this program has accomplished all I hoped for it at the beginning, and I am deeply grateful to the Rio Grande Oil Company, to Mr. Robeson, and to my brother officers throughout the Southwest who have thrown open their confidential files and contributed many interesting and thrilling cases to this splendid radio program.
Hey, Pete, hurry up and open this door.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Oh, you'd think this movie theater was the Bank of England, the way you got it locked up. I'm late, and I got a lot more film to pick up this morning.
Hey, can't you wait till the fella gets here? There's down the washroom, mopping up. This rheumatism of mine don't let me get around as fast as I used to.
Yeah, I know, but I'm in an awful hurry. It's 9:45 now, and I got a lot more places to call. Where's the film?
Well, in the manager's office, where it always is, I suppose. I ain't been in there yet.
Okay, you got the keys?
Yeah, here it is.
Boy, they keep you jumping down to the exchange, Pete. You got it easy compared to my job, picking up films all morning and delivering them all afternoon.
Yeah, I know, but you ain't got my rheumatism.
Say, Pete, this door wasn't locked.
It wasn't?
No.
You sure?
Yeah?
That's funny. Mr. Stanley must have forgot to lock it last night. He never did that before, though.
Well, you'd better remind him. Now, let's see. Where's this?
Stick him up.
Hey, what is this?
Stick him up and get inside here quick. Shut that door. Now, you open that safe.
Who, me?
Yes, you. Get to work on that combination.
Well, I can't.
You feel that in your ribs, pal? You open that safe, or I'll let you have it. Right there.
Well, I don't work here, honest. I just called for the film.
Open that safe.
Well, you can ask the janitor here. I don't know anything about this place.
That's right, mister. He don't work here.
Well, how about you then? You work here, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, open the safe for us.
Well, I don't know the combination.
Listen, I'm getting tired of this chatter. We're going to have that safe open if we have to blow both of you to bits.
Hey, pipe down, Joe.
Huh?
Somebody's coming.
Get behind the door here. I'll get on the other side.
Hey, Pete, where the devil are you?
Stick him up, mister.
Say, what is...
I said up. Get your hands away from your hip.
Why, you can't bluff me.
Okay, who's bluffing?
Gee. Hey, you bumped the guy off. Hey, come on, we got to get out of here.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
What's the matter, Joe?
He got me.
Hey, what do we do?
Get going. Scram. I can make it okay.
We better use this side door, huh?
Sure.
What about those mugs in the office?
We can't think about them now. We pulled a beef. You sure that guy's dead?
Oh, sure he was. You drilled him swell.
Yeah, but that ain't gonna help any now.
Hey, I don't see Eddie's car.
You didn't expect to, did you? He wasn't to be here until 11:30.
Well, we got to get out of this some way.
Hey, there's a car across the street. See, the dame's just getting out of it.
Yeah. Come on, let's go. I hope she left her keys in the ignition.
Not so fast, Jeff. This thing's bleeding like the devil.
Oh, I'm sorry, pal. Here, let me give you a hand.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, what a break. She diddly with these. Come on, pile in.
Get right out of my car. I'd like to know what you mean.
I'm sorry, lady, but we got to get to a receiving hospital fast.
I'm hurt, lady.
Yeah, you wait here, and I'll bring your car right back.
Well, of all things.
Well, I guess this is far enough away.
Where are we?
West Hollywood. Anybody followed us, we threw them off all right going up over the hills.
Better ditch this car.
Yeah, well, what do we do then?
Get a cab. Here's a stand. No, you fool, don't pull up. One on the street and park.
Oh, I get it.
This'll be all right along in here. Now, you go up and get the cab. Tell the driver your pal's drunk. Then come back and pick me up.
Yeah, okay. I'll be right back, Joe. Here we are. Just pull up beside that blue sedan.
Okay.
Give me a hand with my buddy, will you? He's just over here in the car.
Sure.
Just goes to show what bad liquor will do to you.
Yeah, that's right. I never touch it myself.
That's a good idea, huh? I'm swearing off that.
All right, let me give you a hand here now.
Yeah.
Steady. There's a nice soft seat in the back for you.
Okay.
Okay, there we are. All right, Mac, let's go.
Let's go.
Well, we got home anyway. How you feeling, Joe?
Pretty rocky. Put on the radio, will you? Let's have some music.
Yeah. I guess I better call a doctor for you.
Hold on, doctor. Are you rummy? We'd have the bulls down on us in a minute. You better get some bandages. This thing will have to heal without a doctor.
Yeah, okay. You want to get in bed?
No, I'll lay down on the Davenport.
Well, it didn't turn out like we figured, did it?
No. We'd have been okay if that guy with the gat hadn't shoved his nose into it.
Yeah. I wonder who he was.
I'll bite. Maybe somebody else with the same idea we had. How about getting me some bandages and iodine?
Oh, sure, I forgot. I'll have them sent up. Oh, and Joe, here's $10. The last I got, but you'll probably need it worse than I do.
Why? Where are you going?
Well, I've been thinking I better get going.
Want to walk out on me when I got a bullet hole in me, huh?
Oh, no, it ain't that,
you
Joe.
yellow rat. If I hadn't dropped that gun out the theater, I'd drill you the same as I did that guy out there.
Oh, now, look here, Joe, be reasonable,
Pipe
will
down.
you?
What's that guy saying on the radio?
For a late newsgram. 2 armed bandits shot and killed Detective Lieutenant Crowley, special officer of the Los Angeles Police Department, in the Westwood Theater an hour ago. For further details, read your local newspaper.
Hey, did you hear that, Joe? There was a copy you bumped off.
Well, what of it? He's dead just the same.
Yeah, but every bull in the world will be looking for us now. They'll never stop hunting when it's a copper that's bumped. I'm getting out, Joe. There's the $10.
All right, rat, get out. Go on. Run down to the city hall and squawk to the chief of police. Go on.
I won't squeal, Joe. You can count on that.
You're liable to do anything. Go on, scram. The longer I look at your pen, the sicker I get.
Well, so long, Joe. Sorry it didn't turn out the way we figured.
If I get out of this, you'll hear from me later. And if I bump off, remember I got friends.
Oh, gee, Joe, don't take that attitude. After all, I didn't bump off the copper. You did. I got to protect myself.
Get out! Get out! Hello. Get me Drexel 72581. Yeah, that's right. The dirty pink. It ain't gonna be healthy around this town for him from now on. Hello, Eddie. This is Joe. Yeah, I know, but I couldn't meet you out in Westwood. No, I got held up. Now listen. Get over here right away, will you? Bring along some bandages and iodine. Yeah, I just pulled a beef. I need some help. Hurry up. All right, folks. You have to clear this office. Now, keep these people out of here.
Okay, Lieutenant Condapper.
Come on, folks. Got to clear the room out here. We got investigation going on here. Now, young fella, you say these two men held up you and Pete, the janitor?
That's right.
What did they look like?
Well, I didn't get a good look at the one guy. He kept out of the light. The other one had on a blue overcoat. He was about 25, I guess.
What kind of complexion?
I couldn't tell. He had a scarf half over his face, and he wore a white cap pulled low over his forehead.
An American? Hey, what is it?
American.
They're busy. Hey, what's the trouble on here, man?
The lady's car has been stolen, and we haven't...
Send her in here.
Right, all right, lady. You can go in now.
I never saw such stupidity in all my born days, trying to keep me out of this, I declare.
All right, lady. You're in now. What's the trouble?
Well, I heard that a man had been shot here, and my car's been stolen, and I think you ought to know about it.
Well, you see, madam, we're investigating a murder. Now, if you'll just report the theft of your car to the auto detail, I'm sure they'll take care of it for you.
Now, you look here, officer. If you don't hear me out, you'll be sorry.
Oh, very well. Go ahead.
Well, about a half hour ago, two men came across the street from this direction and got into my car. When I told them to get out, the one said he was taking his friend to the hospital, and they promised to bring my car back, but they haven't returned it. And I got to thinking that maybe they were the ones that did the shooting, and so
What did
I
they
thought
look like?
Well, one of them had on a blue overcoat. He was the one that was hurt.
You said one of them wore a blue overcoat, didn't you, young fella?
That's right, and a white cap.
Did your man have on a white cap, lady?
No.
Did either of them have on a white cap?
No, I don't think they did.
Ryan.
Yeah, Frank?
Get the boys outside and tell them to look for a white cap. One of those birds lost his between this room and the other side of the street.
Right.
Now, what was the license number of your car, lady?
Let me see. It was 5V1895. Yes, that's right. 5V1895.
Make?
A Plymouth sedan.
Color?
Blue.
Year?
1929.
You'll broadcast that information right away. Hello, Jack. Condapper speaking. Take this down for broadcast to all cars on KGPL and all points on state teletype. You ready? Stolen car, wanted in connection with murder, Lieutenant Hugh Crowley. Badge number 17. 1929, blue Plymouth sedan. License number 5 Victor V. That's right. 1895. Suspects are thought to have escaped in this car. If found, hold, notify Central Homicide at once. Yeah, that's all. Get it out right away.
Here we are, Frank. Boys found these outside.
Ah, that's more like it. 10 finger stalls and the white cap.
Oh, what are those rubber glove fingers for?
To hide fingerprints. But they shouldn't have thrown them away so soon. That car of yours will be covered with prints now. Hello, Hudson? Condapper. Yeah. Connection with the murder of Hugh Crowley. We just found the cap worn by suspect number 1. Yeah, we think he's wounded. Look, Hudson, get some men out to cover cleaning and dyeing establishments. And run down this laundry mark. It's T, like in Thomas, T153. Right.
Beg pardon, Lieutenant. I just picked this up outside.
Thanks. Hold a minute, Hudson. Mac just found one of the guns. Wait till I look at it. Break it open, will you, Mac? Yep. This is the one that did the business. 3 shots been fired from it. Hudson, where the Smith & Wesson factory and find out who they sold a .32-20 revolver to. Serial number 11086. Yeah, that's right. And tell the coroner's office to come out and pick up the body.
Morning, Frank.
All right.
Anything new on the Crowley murder?
Plenty. Radio car 32 picked up the getaway car in West Hollywood at midnight last night. Barlow's gone over it for fingerprints.
Did he find anything?
Yep. The car was covered with the prints of Joe Regan.
Joe Regan. Has he done time?
A few short jolts for bootlegging.
Yeah, what's our first step?
Well, the chief's thrown 60 men into the area around Gardner and Sunset where the car was found. They're trying to locate the men if they're in that neighborhood.
Well, we better get out there then.
All right, let's go.
Yes?
How do you do, lady? Do you know anything about that sedan that was parked across the street yesterday?
What sedan?
Why, it was a blue sedan.
Well, why should I know anything about it? I got plenty to worry with. What about those 3 kids of mine and the mister not working?
Did you see a blue sedan across the street there?
No. Oh, for heaven's sake, the baby's cereal's burning.
Mustn't be anybody home.
Keep on ringing. The radiator's still warm on that car in the driveway.
Oh.
Whatever you're selling, I don't want any.
Hey, open that door.
Say, listen, if you don't go away and stop bothering me, I'll call the cops.
Save yourself the trouble. We're from Central.
Oh, well, gee. In that case, I ain't done nothing.
Maybe so, maybe not. Where you been all night?
Oh, just out on a party. What do you want?
You know anything about a blue sedan that was parked down the street yesterday?
No, I never saw it.
Sure about that?
Sure, well, of course. Hey, look, boys, I don't know nothing about it. Now, please beat it. My husband's working nights, and if he comes home and find me up, he'll raise the devil. Now, beat it, will you? I never saw no blue sedan on the level. I swear I'm telling you the truth.
Come to think of it, I did see that car come up and park. I was hanging out my wash. Of course, I'm usually earlier than that, but I had an awful big wash yesterday. You know, my sister and her husband have been staying with me.
All right, lady. What about the sedan?
Oh, of course. I'm wandering, ain't I?
Yeah, a little.
Well, the sedan drove up, and a man got out of it and walked up towards Sunset Boulevard. A few minutes later, he came back in a taxi cab, and the driver and this man helped the other one out of the sedan. He looked kind of like he was drunk. And they got out in the cab and drove away.
What kind of a cab was it?
A green top, I think.
Come on, Ryan. We want to talk to the driver of that cab.
And that's all I know about it. I drove him to the spot on Normandy and left him. I ain't mixed up in anything.
Nobody said you were.
What's the address of that apartment on Normandy?
629 South.
Notice any blood in your cab after you hauled that fare?
No, why should I? The guy was drunk.
I think that's where you were fooled.
Well, Ryan, we'd better throw a stakeout around that apartment house right away and have a little talk with the landlady.
Why, yes, Mr. Ryan. Mr. Regan lived here, but he's checked out.
I see. How long ago?
About midnight last night.
Flew the coop, huh?
Probably left a trail. You got a switchboard here?
Yes.
Did this man Regan make any calls yesterday?
Why, yes, I think so. 1 or 2.
You got the operator slips?
I believe so.
Let me see them, please.
Yes. Here they are.
Thank you. Uh-huh. Drexel 72581 and Normandy 28396. Now, Mrs. Matthews, we know that Joe Regan telephoned this number yesterday. Now, who did he talk to?
My boy Eddie hasn't done anything. He's a good boy.
I'm not interested in your boy Eddie. What I want to know is, did Joe Regan talk to him yesterday?
Well, if he did, what of it?
Where is your son now?
Why, he's out of town on a business trip.
With Regan?
I don't know.
Who's this pal of your son's and Regan?
Well, I don't know who you mean.
Oh, come on now, Mrs. Matthews. There's no sense in holding out on us. If you don't help us, your son may be implicated.
I tell you, Eddie's done nothing. And them other two, they're good, clean boys, too.
What other two?
Why, Joe Regan and Jack Green.
Oh, Jack Green's the other one, huh?
Oh, I didn't mean to
Well,
say.
you said it. Now, where does this Jack Green live?
I don't know.
But you must know.
I don't know the address.
But where is it? Glendale, Inglewood, where?
Well, last I heard, he lived around Western Avenue in Hollywood. Oh, I don't want to get those boys in trouble.
You won't get them in trouble, Mrs. Matthews. They're in trouble already.
Who's there?
Open up.
Who is it?
Officers of the law.
Officers of the law.
Unlock that door and come out with your hands up. We've got you covered with a submachine gun.
Oh, law, I should have known I couldn't get away with it.
Come on, Green.
All right, wait a minute. I'm coming.
You're under arrest for the murder of Lieutenant Hugh Crowley. Snap the cuffs on him,
No,
man.
no, I didn't murder him. I didn't do the shooting. I didn't even have a gun. I ain't a murderer. Joe Regan did the shooting. You find Regan. He's the murderer.
Where'd you take Regan Monday night?
I don't know anything about Regan. I ain't seen him since Monday noon. I ain't been out of this place since yesterday.
So you walked out on your pal after he was shot,
Well, it wasn't a matter of walking out, but you see how it was. I had to look out for myself, didn't I?
Sure.
Not a good it did you, didn't it?
Who moved Regan?
I don't know.
Who would you guess?
I don't know.
Well, you must have an idea. Who would Regan call after you, his pal, walked out on him?
Don't say it that way.
There's only one way to say it.
Who would Regan call? Eddie Matthews?
Maybe. I don't know.
Who else?
Well, Eddie's girl, maybe.
What's her name?
Sally. Sally Walker.
Where does she live? With Eddie?
Well, not exactly. She's got an apartment on 3rd Street.
And her telephone's Normandy 28396, isn't it?
Yeah. Say, how did you know?
That's the other call from Regan's apartment, Ryan. You'd better take Green in and book him for murder.
No, don't do that. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm innocent.
Oh, pipe down, Green. And Ryan, after you've booked this guy, join me over at 3rd and Vermont. I'm going to stake this Walker dame. Well, she's been a great help.
I tell you, Frank, we should have pinched her before she got on that San Francisco plane. She's made monkeys of us, leading us into drugstores by one entrance and out another, changing cabs, riding elevators in half a dozen office buildings.
She's a cagey dame.
She knew she was being shadowed.
Maybe. Maybe she was just playing safe.
We ought to have picked her up.
Why? She's that smart, we'll never make her talk. Let her go, and she'll lead us right to Regan. Now, here's what you do, Ryan. Call headquarters and tell them to wire Bakersfield, Fresno, and San Francisco to meet that ship. Tell them to follow her if she gets off. Give them a full description. It'll be easy, though. She's the only dame on the plane.
Hadn't they better arrest her?
Let her lead them to her hideout, and then they can knock her over.
Condapper and Ryan just arrived from Los Angeles, Inspector.
Show them in.
Yes, sir. Will you come in, gentlemen?
Thank you.
Well, didn't take you boys long to get here.
Didn't take you San Francisco boys long to pick up our girlfriend, either.
That was easy. She led us from the plane right to an apartment house on Post Street. We had her in jail an hour after she got in town.
But no Regan, Inspector?
Nope, no Regan. Young fellow by the name of Eddie Matthews was with her in the apartment, but neither of them will talk. They claim they don't know anybody by the name of Regan.
How did you find out about this Walker girl, Inspector?
Well, she says that she's up here to see her mother.
That the truth?
It's the truth, but her mother lives here. Nice old lady she is. Runs a little grocery store out in the Mission.
Respectable, law-abiding citizen, huh?
Right.
That's just fine. I'll make that girl talk. Bring her in, will you?
Right away. She's waiting in the other office. Bring the Walker girl in, Harry.
Yes, sir. Will you come in, Miss Walker?
Good morning, Sally.
Good morning.
I want you to meet a couple of friends of mine, Sally. This is Lieutenant Condapper and Lieutenant Ryan of the Los Angeles Police Department.
So what?
Glad to know you, Sally. Sit down, will you? Well, how about it?
How about what?
The murder of Lieutenant Crowley.
I don't know anything about it.
Where's Regan?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What did you leave Los Angeles so suddenly for?
I just came up north to see my mother, that's all.
Does your mother know what kind of tramps you run with in Los Angeles?
Say, what do you mean? I'm a respectable waitress.
Did you know that your mother's in the outer office?
What?
Yeah. We asked you to come down. She doesn't know why.
Why, you...
Now, if you'll come clean with us, we'll tell her it was a mistake and she'll never know you were here.
You've got a nerve.
Of course, if you'd rather cover up that rat Regan, we'll call your mother in and tell her what you've been up to in Los Angeles, and we'll give the papers the story. How do you think your mother would like that, Sally? Well, how about it?
Okay. You win. I'll talk. But you got to promise that Mother will never know about this.
You can take my word for it, lady. She never will.
Okay. Joe's pretty badly hurt. We got him in an apartment over on Green Street.
What, Joe? Feeling any better?
I'm okay, I guess. Bullet hole sure stings, though.
Lucky it's in the shoulder instead of the heart.
Wonder where Sully and Eddie are. Eddie promised they'd be here by noon with a car so they could get me north and out of the heat.
Oh, they ought to be along any time now.
You know, Blackie, this thing's getting me.
What do you mean?
Oh, I don't know. I'm getting soft or something. I've been doing a lot of thinking laying here alone with this lead slug burning fire inside of me. I'm wondering whether we ain't wrong.
What the devil are you talking about?
Well, I guess it'll sound screwy. Look, Blackie, I tried to pull a fast one, and what did I get for it? I bumps off a copper, and I got an armful of lead. I got every bull in the state of California looking for me. For what? Because I tried to make some easy dough. Because I tried to break the law.
Say, Joe, you are going soft. Better have another shot of liquor. You're talking like a Sunday school teacher.
And I'm beginning to think like one. Blackie, I'm beginning to think they're right when they say crime don't pay.
Open up, Regan. Open up or we'll blast the door down.
It's a balls, Joe. I'll fix
Don't be a fool, Blackie. Drop that gun and open the door.
What?
Go on, do as I say. There ain't no sense bumping off any more cops. They always get you in the end.
Yes, they always get you in the end. They got Joe Regan and hanged him by the neck until dead. They sent Jack Green to the gallows, but he fought the verdict and got a commutation to life sentence. With the knowledge that justice had been done, that the ancient law of an eye for an eye has been fulfilled, can never compensate the widow of Hugh Crowley for her loss. And what can assuage the breaking hearts of the mothers of Joe Regan and Jack Green, whose sons learned too late that crime doesn't pay? The splendid work of the men of the homicide squad in bringing these killers to justice is an empty victory. The real work of society has failed. Society is at fault in the inadequacy of its educational program, which must eventually convince every man, woman, and child of the futility of the idiocy of crime.
Thank you, Chief David. Your police department operates a huge fleet, hundreds of police cars, motorcycles, police ambulances, and other emergency equipment, as well as a fleet of work cars. It is flattering that out of all the gasoline sold on this market, Rio Grande cracked gasoline has been selected as their official fuel. The contract for gasoline to operate police, fire, and emergency cars in Los Angeles specified Rio Grande cracked gasoline exclusively because tests over a period of years have convinced Los Angeles officials, as well as officials of Oakland, Berkeley, Marysville, Hayward, San Diego County, Maricopa County, Arizona, and many others, that Rio Grande cracked gasoline excels in every requirement. It starts faster. It accelerates faster. It creates more power, and you get greater mileage. We want you to know, and we want every motorist to know, that Rio Grande cracked will continue to give more for the money than any other gasoline. Your neighborhood independent dealer has Rio Grande cracked gasoline. Ask him about the free gifts for boys and girls.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars, attention all cars, cancellation of broadcast 100 regarding the murder of Lieutenant Hugh Crowley. Suspects in this case now in custody. That's all. Rosenquist.
Calling All Cars is written and produced by William N. Robeson. This is your announcer, Frederick Lindsley, bidding you good night for the Rio Grande Oil Company. Calling All Cars, a copyrighted program created for the Rio Grande Oil Company.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars, attention all cars, broadcast 101 regarding a murder at 11th and Maple. That's all. Rosenquist.
Every police car that speeds past you with sirens shrieking is a dramatic advertisement for Rio Grande cracked gasoline. So is every police ambulance speeding on its errand of mercy, every fire engine that roars past, every police motorcycle that patrols the road. There are thousands of such emergency cars in the territory where Rio Grande cracked gasoline is sold, and more of them use Rio Grande cracked than any other gasoline. What greater proof can you ask that this gasoline excels all others? The gasoline selected for emergency cars operated by the cities of Los Angeles, Oakland, Berkeley, and others, and by the county of San Diego, Maricopa County, Arizona, and many, many others, is chosen in competitive tests. Rio Grande has won these tests because it is the only gasoline available in the far west that is made by the patented Sinclair cracking process, the most advanced refining method known to the petroleum industry. In Rio Grande's new cracking plant, the finest in America, your gasoline goes through a costly extra process that changes all the weak, slow-burning, lazy units into rich, vital elements. And when you buy Rio Grande cracked gasoline from your neighborhood independent dealer, you get the same gasoline that is used by more emergency engines than any other brand. And in addition, Rio Grande offers free gifts to every boy and girl. Drive in tonight, or tomorrow sure, wherever Rio Grande cracked gasoline is sold. Ask for your free copy of the Calling All Cars News, and read how your youngsters may have a complete junior detective outfit free of charge. And now it is our pleasure to present Chief James E. Davis of the Los Angeles Police Department. Chief Davis.
Good evening, friends. As you sit quietly back in your chair, listening to this broadcast, perhaps you will believe it is incredible that several persons can conspire together to commit crime which may result, and in this case did result, in cold-blooded murder. Few citizens realize that walking abroad in our communities are vicious individuals whose criminal tendencies are so great that they can conspire together in a single act of violence. But this story we bring you tonight is one which proves conclusively that definite criminal types are dangerous and altogether unfit to associate with civilized society as we know it. I wish to call particular attention to those listening in tonight to the splendid work done by the police officers in wringing from the group of conspirators and would-be murderers, whose story this is, the truth concerning one of the most barbaric killings in police annals. This splendid piece of detective work was done without resorting to the antiquated so-called third degree. The psychology used by the police officers in this story to break down the resistance of these clever criminals is particularly noteworthy. Now for the story.
Morning, Mrs. McManus. Nice morning, ain't it?
Sure, and it is that, Mrs. Mudge. And what brings you out so early?
Well, there ain't a bite of food in the house, and the kids is hungry. I gotta go down to the relief headquarters and see if I can get 'em something to eat.
Sure, and it's a fine state the world's in when gentlefolk like us has to be begging the government itself for a crust of bread.
Well, I don't know what the world's coming to. I was just saying to Mrs. Watson the other day...
Oh, to Mrs. Watson you was speaking. Then maybe you can tell me where our fine landlady has been caping herself. And me with the plumbing in me place gone bad and not able to find hide nor hair of her these 3 days.
Now, that's strange. I haven't seen her for several days myself.
I'm just on my way to her apartment to find out why I can't get me some service in this place. Will you come along?
Very well. I want to speak to her myself.
You don't suppose she's runned off and got herself married to that Mr. Redding from across the street, do you?
Oh, no. She's too old and settled for that. When a woman's past 60, she isn't thinking about flighty things.
Maybe not. Of course, I ain't past 60. I ain't well into my 40s yet. But that Mr. Redding don't look so bad to me. He'd be a fine husband for a widder woman who understood him and could do for him like I could, if you get what I mean.
Mrs. McManus, you surprise me.
Well, I'm only human after all, and I never could understand what Mr. Redding sees in that old Mrs. Watson.
She'll hear you.
Not her, she won't. She's as deaf as the devil himself is wicked. Knock on the door, Mrs. Mudge. Ah, knock loud enough to raise the dead.
Surely she ought to hear that.
She ought if she wants to. Say, do you suppose she's...
Of course not.
I'm going to peek through the keyhole.
Oh, I wouldn't do that, Mrs. McManus. It ain't polite.
Well, what of it? My plumbing needs fixing, and I'm going to tell her about it no matter how I do it. Now, just nail down here. Oh. Ooh, me joints is plaguing me again.
Do you see anything?
Mrs. Mudge. Mrs. Mudge?
Yes, what is it?
The room's a wreck. It's the devil himself has been up to tricks.
Then we must break in and see what's the matter.
Not me. Not me. That's a job for the police.
What's the trouble, Tulloch?
Oh, it's you, Lieutenant Hurst. Didn't take you long to get here.
Oh, I guess we got the call as quickly as you did. What does it look like?
Murder. As you see, the old lady was beaten with a blunt instrument, bound and gagged and rolled in the blanket.
Well, clear out these people, Tulloch. Gerhardt and I want to go over the place.
Yes, sir. All right, folks. You'll all have to get outside.
Tulloch.
Yes, sir?
Send for Hildebrand, the fingerprint man, and tell the coroner to come out for the body.
Right away, sir. All right, folks. Everyone outside.
Very nice job, huh?
Right. Obviously, the motive was robbery, the way this place has been torn apart.
The guy who did this was hunting for something in particular.
Hey, look here.
What?
There's a nice fingerprint on the bedstead.
Well, Hildebrand will take care of that when he gets here.
And now we better round up these neighbors and find out what they know about the victim.
Right.
Well, as far as I knew, Mrs. Watson had a little money, and she always wore a big diamond ring. I warned her not to do that.
I heard a woman scream around 8 o'clock on the night of the 27th.
When we arrived, Lieutenant, the door was bolted from the inside, but the rear door had been locked by a spring lock. Looks like the murderer escaped the back way.
Well, I saw a man coming out of the rear of Mrs. Watson's house at about 8:15 on the night of the 27th. I didn't get a very good look at him.
Well, if you're asking me, I say talk to that boyfriend of hers, old Mr. Redding. He probably killed her for her money and a ring.
I've asked you to come in and talk to us in the hopes you could help us solve Mrs. Watson's murder, Mr. Redding.
I'll be glad to help in any way I can.
Thank you.
How long have you known Mrs. Watson, Mr. Redding?
Oh, several years.
Or well?
We were good friends.
When did you see her last?
I haven't seen her for a week.
Have you any idea who killed her?
No.
Did you kill her?
Heavens, no.
Did she have any enemies?
No, not that I know of.
Beg pardon, Lieutenant. Here's that fingerprint report.
Thanks, Hildebrand. Well, according to this report, the fingerprints we took when we brought you in tally with the print found on Mrs. Watson's bed. How about that, Mr. Redding?
Well, it can't be so. I've never been near Mrs. Watson's bed. Why, I haven't even seen her for a week, I tell you.
Looks pretty bad, Mr. Redding. Why don't you tell us the truth and ease your conscience?
I haven't anything else to tell. I've told you the truth.
Her hand's bandaged, Mr. Redding. How did that happen?
Why, I cut it repairing some plumbing at my house.
Cut it repairing some plumbing, huh? Sure you didn't hurt it while you were beating out Mrs. Watson's brains?
No, I tell you I'm innocent. I haven't done anything.
You'll have to let us be the judge of that.
Why, what are you going to do to me?
We're going to hold you in technical custody until we've checked your story.
Hurst and Gerhardt checked back on Redding's story, find that he is telling the truth, that he had indeed cut his hand while repairing the plumbing, and soon bring him once more to their office.
Well, Mr. Redding, we've checked back on your story, and we found that you told us the truth about your hand.
Why, of course I'm innocent. I've done no wrong.
However, that doesn't explain about your fingerprint on Mrs. Watson's bedstead.
Well, I was frightened when you first questioned me. I should have admitted that I had been in Mrs. Watson's room. I took her a book about a couple of days before she died. I may have touched the bed.
Should have told us that in the first place.
Yes, but you
it's
see...
all right, Mr. Redding. We're convinced you had nothing to do with her murder.
And I'm free to go.
Yes, you can go now. Well, good day, Mr. Redding. Good day.
Good day. Well, there goes our only clue out the door.
I looked for a while there as if he were our guy.
Yeah, but he isn't and you know it. That guy's on the level.
Right. Perhaps you can tell me what we do next.
All right. What would you suggest?
Don't pass the buck to me. What would you suggest? Here we got a murder, not a single suspect we haven't eliminated.
Well, sometimes it's smart to be Mr. McCullough.
Huh? What do you mean?
Let's just wait for something to turn up.
For the next several days, Hurst and Gerhardt concerned themselves with the routine details of the case, checking the stories of friends of the victim, going over their data for some little fact that may prove to be an important clue, actually getting nowhere. And then, from a quite unexpected source, a break comes which opens the case wide.
Homicide, her speaking.
This is Deputy Sheriff Ellsworth, eh?
Yeah?
You working on that Amanda Watson murder?
Yes.
Well, I just ran into something that might have a bearing on that case.
What is it?
A peddler that comes around our house told my wife that he knew a man had been offered some dough to rob an old lady.
Yeah?
Yeah. Now, of course, it may not have anything to do with your case, but I thought you might want to know.
You're darn right we do. I'll get on that right away.
Running down Deputy Sheriff Allensworth's tip, the detectives interview Mrs. Allensworth. Interview Izzy Minsky, the peddler, and finally, through him, contact an old and, at the moment, very drunken gentleman.
Good evening to you, gentlemen. And what can I do for you?
We'd like to have a talk with you if you don't mind.
Not at all. Will you be coming in and taking a seat?
Thanks.
Now, what is it, gentlemen?
My name's Hurst.
Mr. Hurst.
This is Lieutenant Gerhardt from the police department.
Police? I'm sure it's no crime to have a taste of liquor in the house, is it?
We're not interested in that, Mr. I don't think I caught the name.
McNulty. Tim McNulty. And what is it you want to be talking to me about?
We want your help, Mr. McNulty.
Me help, is it? And how can a poor, innocent, law-abiding citizen be helping the police?
According to the information we've received, you were offered some money to help rob an old woman.
I never heard of such a thing. I never did.
All right, McNulty. Now calm down.
Would you like a little drop of whiskey, gentlemen?
No, thanks.
You won't be minding if I have a wee bit. You jolted me fair when you made that last remark.
No, go right ahead.
Yeah. Well, now that's better.
How about it, McNulty?
How about what?
This job you were offered.
Well, I don't know nothing. I never heard of it. By the holy saints, I swear it.
Sounds to me as if you're trying to hide something.
Hide something, is it? My conscience is as clear as a newborn babe that ain't yet been swaddled in the clothes of deceit.
We know that you were offered a job to help rob an old woman. If you continue to deny it, we may be forced to arrest you on suspicion of murder.
Murder, is it? Did they kill the poor old lady? Mercy on her soul.
Oh, you did know about it.
I know nothing. It's just sorry I am that the poor old lady met her death at the hands of robbers. Them being the devil's own spawn.
According to Izzy Minsky, you know a great deal about it.
Izzy Minsky. Him as I've treated like a friend, like a brother even. So he's going about the town breathing scandal about me.
You want to talk?
I'm talking, I'm saying all the truth I know.
Well, Harry, I guess we'll have to run him in.
Yeah, I guess so. You want to use your handcuffs, or shall I use mine?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Now, wait a minute, gentlemen, and not so easily. You wouldn't want to be arresting an innocent man.
Of course not. But how do we know that you are innocent?
Looks to me as though you're trying to cover something up.
No, but I do think I am after forgetting something that happened a month or so past.
What was it?
Yes. I remember now. It seems that a fella did talk to me about robbing some poor old lady. But I didn't have nothing to do with him. I told him I was a respectable, self-respecting, respectable citizen and taxpayer.
Who was this man?
Well, now, let me think. It seems like his name was Eddie Black.
Eddie Black. Where does he live?
I believe it's somewhere around Pico and San Pedro Street, but then I ain't sure. I never had nothing to do with him. I sent him and his illicit propositions packing. I fled him like the black one I did. Sure, and why should a self-respecting, respectable, self-respecting taxpayer and citizen like me have any truck with a black-hearted devil like the one is himself? The devil take the life of my black-hearted.
So, good evening, please. Honorable gentleman looking for register in number 1 Japanese hotel?
No, we're looking for someone.
Oh, who are you looking for, please?
Fellow by the name of Eddie Black who lives here.
Oh, yes. Eddie Black. I think
What
maybe
room's he in?
Oh, Eddie Black is not in now. But he coming. Oh, look. There Eddie Black making entry from doorway right now.
Yeah?
Just a minute, Mr. Black.
Yeah, what is it?
I want to have a little talk with you.
About what?
A murder. We're from police headquarters.
A murder? Well, I don't know nothing about no murder.
Well, that's just fine. Then you won't mind coming along with us. We want you to meet a friend of ours.
Yeah, well, I'm clean. I don't know nothing.
Yeah, we're glad to hear that. Come along. Car's waiting outside.
Come on, get out.
Hey, what's the idea? Where are you taking me?
You'll see soon enough.
And
taking you to visit an old friend of yours.
Yeah, well, I don't know anybody out in this end of town.
Well, we'll see about that.
Well, it didn't take you gentlemen very long, and I see you got your man. Hello, Eddie, and how are you tonight?
Hey, who is this drunken old fool?
Come on. No, sit you down.
This the man, is it, McNulty?
Sure, and it is, and the devil take the black heart of him.
Hey, what kind of a frame-up is this?
Shut up and listen. Go ahead, Tim, and tell Black here what you told us an hour ago.
Sure, and I'll be glad to. And listen to me, Eddie, me bucko. If you deny a word of what I say, then you're a dirty liar.
Hey, look here, you can't
Shut
talk
up, Black. Go ahead, Tim.
This bewitched one, this excuse of a man sitting there, met me on the street about a month ago. He says to me, Tim, my boy, says he, how'd you like to make a little change? And I says to him, says I, Eddie, I need a little change pretty bad. And he says, all right, me lad, you're on. Wait a minute, Eddie, says I, what do I have to do for the money? Crafty like, he looks at me and he says, just help me rob an old lady, that's all. I pulled myself up and I fled from him like he was all the powers of darkness, seeing as how I'm a respectable, self-respecting, respectable citizen and taxpayer. And I'll swear to it on the holy book. You know, only I sold me Bible to get some money for the medicine to keep out the cold.
Well, Black, how about it?
Oh, he's drunk.
Drunk, is it? I'll be after breaking every bone in your body. You talk to me like that.
Drunk or not, he'll tell the same story on the witness stand.
And that I will.
How about it, Black? Did you murder Mrs. Watson?
No, I swear it, I didn't.
Who did? What McNulty just said is the truth, isn't it?
Okay, it's the truth. I'm in a jam, I guess. But if you get me out of this spot, I'll show you the guy that bumped her off.
Come on, let's go.
Drunk, says he. And me a respectable, self-respecting,
That's the rooming house he lives in, right there at the corner.
What's his name?
Well, I don't want to tell you that, but I know what room he's in.
All right, what room is it?
Number 15.
That's fine. Let's get Black into headquarters, Harry.
Okay. Hey, what's the idea? You can't hold me.
No. Well, we're holding you as a material witness until we check your story.
Well, Lloyd, how do I look in these old clothes?
Not as filthy as I look, I guess.
I always hate to work in phony disguises like this.
Well, sometimes you gotta. If we try to stake in this neighborhood, everybody for blocks would know we was dicks.
Well, here we are at the rooming house Black pointed out. Let's talk to the landlady.
Okay.
And there's her room there at the left.
Yeah?
I want to rent a room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll have to pay in advance.
Okay, we will.
Don't look to me like you had 10 cents between you.
No, we have. See this badge?
The police.
Right. And we want your assistance.
Well, now, look here. I don't want no trouble here. This is a respectable place, and I don't want it getting a bad name.
All right, now, quiet down. You're smart, nobody know we're here. If you make a fuss with me, I have to raid the place to get our men.
Oh, heavens, no. Not a raid.
Very well, then. Be quiet, and we'll cause you no trouble.
Oh, what do you want?
You want the name of the man in room 15.
Mr. Jefferson has that room.
Is he in now?
No, he went out half an hour ago.
When do you expect he'll be back?
Well, it's hard to tell. Sometimes he's away for a couple of days, and sometimes for just a few minutes.
Have you got any rooms vacant next to his?
No, but there's an empty room across the hall.
We'll take it.
But I don't want no trouble.
I promise you there won't be any trouble. Just you keep your mouth shut. The only way there'll be any trouble is if you tip them off that we're here.
For 24 long hours, the two detectives sit in the little room, smoking endless cigarettes, taking turns watching through the keyhole for anyone entering Jefferson's room across the hall. No one comes that afternoon, that night, nor the next morning, but finally at noon on the second day...
Here comes someone, Harry.
Yeah, probably that old Mexican down the hall who was walking around all night.
This is our man. He stopped across the hall. He's unlocking the door.
Come on, let's take him.
Stick him up, Jefferson.
Hey, what is it?
Up high. Frisk him, Harry.
Say, who are you guys? What is this, a heist?
No, an arrest. We're police officers.
An arrest? What for? I ain't done nothing. What's the big idea?
There's a friend of yours down at headquarters that wants to see you. Come on. I don't think I need to introduce you two. If we haven't made a mistake, this is your old friend Jefferson, isn't it, Black?
Yeah, that's the guy. What is this, a frame-up? I never saw this mug in my life before.
Huh? Sit down, Black. Tell Mr. Jefferson here what you told me up in the cell.
Well, there was 4 of us in on the deal. Jefferson here, me, Bud Sampson, and Betty Martin. He was planning to rob an old woman who lived next door to Betty's room in that joint over on Maple Street My Aunt Betty said she had $5,000 hidden in her trunk. We was going to use tire patches on our fingers to hide prints. We had a tire tool hidden away in front.
You Betty Martin?
Yeah, what of it?
You're under arrest.
What for?
Suspicion of murder.
Come right in, Sampson.
Hey, what's the big idea? You got no right in my room.
I'm for police headquarters. Do you come along quietly, or do I have to use force?
Hearst loses no time in herding his suspect into the office of his superior, Captain Bert Wallace of the Homicide Squad.
Captain Wallace, this is Eddie Black, Bud Sampson, Jack Jefferson, and Betty Martin.
How are you?
I do.
Sit down, folks. Now, I suppose you'd like to know why you're all here.
You're darn tootin' we would.
Yeah. There's a law against false arrest, you know.
Yes, I've heard of that law. That's the reason we never make an arrest until we are reasonably sure of the suspect's guilt.
Well, you're way out of line this time.
I don't think so.
Well, come on, spill it, Cap. What's it all about?
A little over a week ago, an old lady by the name of Amanda Watson was murdered during a robbery. We have some strong reasons to believe that one of the people in this room committed that murder. How about it?
Okay. I'll lay my cards on the table. I'll start talking.
That's fine. You don't mind if we take down your statement in shorthand, do you?
A lot of good it'd do me if I did.
Perhaps you're right. You ready to take the statement to it?
Yes, sir.
All right, Sampson. Start talking.
Well, I was working on a construction job out in Hollywood a couple of months ago, and I met Black there. He was working the same job, and he drove me back to town a couple of times, and then one day when we was talking about how tough things was and how hard it is to get a job or to live on relief, he said he knew where there was some ready cash.
Yeah?
He told me that he knew a woman who knew about an old lady that kept $5,000 and a lot of jewelry in a trunk in her room. And it sounded pretty good to me, so Black took me around to meet this dame.
And who was this woman?
Betty Martin here.
You rat, you double-crossing
Betty,
squealer.
don't be that way. This is the best way out. I didn't bump the old woman, and you didn't either.
I don't like informers.
Well, Sampson, what else?
Well, this old lady lived next to Betty's apartment. We met in there and talked about it and decided we'd need a screwdriver to force open the trunks and things, and we'd need some strong wire to tie up Mrs. Watson. We never meant to bump her off.
But you did.
No, sir, I didn't. We finally decided that maybe there wasn't any dough in the room because we'd been watching through the keyhole. At least I decided it was a bum steer, and I pulled out of the whole thing. That's all I got to say.
How about that, Black? Is Sampson telling the truth?
Yeah.
What have you got to add?
Well, not much. After I talked to Sampson about the job, I ran into Jefferson here in the street.
Sit down, Jefferson.
Go ahead, Black.
Well, we'd known each other in Oklahoma, and when Jefferson told me he was out of work, I figured seeing he was an old friend, I'd cut him in on a good thing. He went along with me to Betty's room, and he was present when we talked over plans. Jefferson got the tire tool and the patches for our fingers. And then we started to argue about whether Mrs. Watson really did have any money. I was sick in bed with the flu, and the next thing I knew, I read in the papers that the old dame had been bumped. I didn't do it. I was never nearer than Betty Martin's apartment.
How about it, Miss Martin? What have you got to add?
Just this. I say it's a lie, a deliberate frame-up by a couple of double-crossing rats that ain't fit to spit on. And what's more, you can't...
For 2 days, the questioning goes on. Relentlessly, the officers seek to break down the stories, the admissions and denials of the suspects. Toward the end of the second day of questioning.
I'm getting a little tired of this merry-go-round.
So are we.
Why don't you let us go? We ain't guilty.
You know, boys, I think Jefferson's right. We're holding these people for no purpose. Certainly I am convinced of Jefferson's innocence.
Well, maybe you're right at that, Cap.
And Jefferson, I want to apologize to you for keeping you here these 2 days.
Oh, that's all right, Captain Wallace.
We have to do these things sometimes to assure ourselves of the innocence of a suspect.
Sure, I understand.
Will you shake on it?
Sure.
Put her there.
Oh.
Now, what's the matter?
You hurt my hand.
That's just what I meant to do. Now, sit down there, Jefferson, and start coming clean. For 2 days, you've been sitting here scratching your right cheek until you've scratched all the skin away. You're nervous, Jefferson. You're holding something back. And something else which has escaped the notice of the rest of my fellow officers here is that right hand of yours. It's still swollen. How did you hurt your hand, Jefferson?
Why...
Now, don't tell us you were fixing the plumbing. We've already eliminated one suspect on that story. Come clean, Jefferson. Sampson, Black, and Miss Martin have convinced me that they are innocent of the actual murder. And you have convinced me by your nervousness that you have guilty knowledge of it. Jefferson, you killed Mrs. Watson. Isn't that the truth?
Okay. You got me. I did it.
Start talking.
I got tired of them sitting around doing nothing,
So that day I got crocked on a pint of cheap gin, and I took the tire tool and went over to Mrs. Watson's. When she came to the door, I banged over the head, and then I tied her up and threw her on the bed, and then I took the joint like Grant took Richmond.
Did you find anything?
No, not a dime.
Crime hardly pays, does it, Jefferson?
There's just one thing I want you bulls to know. I never meant to kill her. I just wanted to put her to sleep so I could get the $5,000 the Martin dame said was there. I didn't mean to kill her. I swear I didn't. I just tapped her easy.
You just don't know your own strength, do you, Jefferson?
Jefferson, Black, and Miss Martin were booked for murder. Sampson was held as a material witness, and complaints were issued by Deputy District Attorney Vern Ferguson on 1 count of murder, 2 counts of conspiracy to commit robbery, and 3 counts of attempted robbery. But 4 days before the case came to trial, Judge Reuben Smith released Black and Miss Martin, declaring that the evidence of their guilt was insufficient. Jefferson went on trial on an insanity charge, was found sane, and was sent to San Quentin Penitentiary for life.
Thank you, Chief Davis.
Someday you may need help from the police. Someday you may need an ambulance, quick. Every second counts when you need help. So police take no chances with gasoline refined by ordinary methods. Gasoline which may sputter and balk and stall at a sudden demand for speed. To ensure that every police car can jump from a crawl to top speed in emergencies, the largest cities and counties in California and Arizona specify Rio Grande cracked gasoline to power all emergency motors. It costs no more to get tetraethyl-treated gasoline refined by this extra cracking process. And with cracked gasoline in your car, you can get police car performance too. And as an extra inducement to try the super-refined gasoline, every independent dealer handling Rio Grande cracked gasoline is offering free, valuable gifts to boys and girls. Drive in. Get police car performance for your car with Rio Grande cracked gasoline.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars, attention all cars. A cancellation broadcast 101 regarding a murder. Suspects in this case now in custody. That's all. Rosenquist.
Your narrator, Frederick Lindsley, bidding you good night for the Rio Grande Oil Company. Calling all cars, a copyrighted program created by the Rio Grande Oil Company.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars, attention all cars, broadcast 102. All cars, watch closely the operation of Nails Cronin, believed to be peddling narcotics. That's all. Rosenquist.
When this call goes out over the air to hundreds of radio patrol cars, it's often a matter of life and death. Police cars haven't a second to waste. When that throttle is thrust to the floor, the police car must leap instantly to top speed and tear through the streets, siren shrieking. 1 second may mean a life saved. That's why the most efficient police departments of the West refuse to use ordinary gasolines in police cars and emergency engines. Tests have proved that gasolines made by ordinary refining processes can't start fast enough, can't develop enough speed and power. There's a reason why more police cars, fire engines, ambulances, and other emergency equipment use Rio Grande cracked gasoline than any other brand. And that reason is the exclusive patented refining process known as cracking. Rio Grande puts gasoline through the newly developed Sinclair cracking process to separate the slow burning from the fast firing elements. What a difference it makes. In scores of tests before police officials, Rio Grande cracked gasoline has proved to be so much faster in starting, so much speedier, so much more powerful, that it has been awarded the contracts to power all emergency cars operated by Los Angeles, Oakland, Berkeley, Marysville, San Diego County, Maricopa County, Arizona, and many other cities and counties. On tonight's program, you will hear a graphic demonstration of the efficiency of our police. Rio Grande cracked gasoline has contributed greatly to this efficiency. For more police and emergency cars use Rio Grande cracked gasoline exclusively, wherever it is sold, than any other brand. And they use exactly the same gasoline you get when you patronize your Rio Grande independent dealer. Try a tankful tomorrow. And now it is our pleasure to present Chief James E. Davis of the Los Angeles Police Department.
Good evening, friends. You have often heard me refer to Los Angeles as the white spot of America's crime map. The phrase is mine, but the statistics which inspired it may be obtained by anyone interested in the work of this police department. During the era of lawlessness, now happily coming to a close, we enjoyed a minimum of large-scale crime as compared to other cities in this nation. This is not meant to imply, however, that we did not have our racketeers and so-called big shots. Many were the hoodlums who tried to muscle themselves into power, but as quickly as they began operations, we began breaking them down. It wasn't always easy. One of the most difficult men we had to break was a one-time petty pickpocket who muscled into the dope racket and made himself a big shot. His name makes no difference. He has paid his debt to society, so for the purpose of our story, we will call him Nails Cronin.
It was in 1927. One day, Chief Davis summoned Detective Lieutenant Seeger into his office.
Good morning, Chief.
Come in, Seeger. Sit down. Seeger, you've had a lot of narcotic experience, haven't you?
Yes, sir. I was up north with the State Enforcement Bureau for several years.
Mm-hmm. You know who Nails Cronin is, Seeger?
Sure, everybody knows who he is. Big shot dope peddler, fence. Got ambitions to be a West Coast Capone.
That's right. They're saying around town that I can't get him.
Well, he's a pretty slick customer. None of the boys have ever been able to hang anything on him yet. He lets the mules that work for him take the rap.
Yes, I know. He's the hardest sort of individual with whom to deal. But I don't think they're right when they say we can't get him. Do you?
No, sir.
I knew you'd agree with me. Very well, Seeger. I'm going to make you captain of the combined robbery and narcotic squads. And I'm going to give you one big job. Get Cronin.
Yes, sir. It may take me a year, but I'll get him.
Slowly, the police spin their web. A dozen detectives shadow a dozen dope peddlers, make arrest after arrest, but never can they put the finger on Nails Cronin. Then one day, as Detective Lieutenant Edwards, one of Seeger's men, is entering police headquarters, a man approaches him.
Say, Edwards. Yes, what is it? Cronin wants to talk to you.
What about?
How should I know? He told me to tell you he wants to talk to you.
Well, I don't want to talk to him.
Be a smart guy, Edwards. It'll only take a minute. He's sitting right over there in his car.
Well, okay.
Hello, Edwards.
Hello, Nails.
Haven't seen you since the day you tried to pinch me for possession of liquor. I'll never forget your face when you found that bottle in the back of my car was full of cleaning fluid.
Yeah, that was very funny. Yes, I understand Jim Davis has put his bloodhounds on my trail again. Yeah? Don't tell me you don't know anything about it. You work for Seeger, don't you? Yeah. You don't make much money, do you, Edwards? I don't need to tell you what a copper's salary is. How'd you like an extra $200 a month? For what? Telling me what Seeger's plans are. No, thanks. That's been a little foolish, Edwards. I ought to arrest you for bribery, Cronin. But you won't, Guy. You haven't any witnesses. Stu here's deaf, dumb, and blind, ain't you, Stu?
Huh? Sure, yeah. Me no speak English. Yeah.
Well, how about it, Edwards? I told you no. And you'd better move that car of yours. You're parked in the yellow. I can run you in for that, you know. No, you can't. The loading zone. I just stopped to pick up my friend Stu here. So long, Sap.
So he offered you a bribe, huh? That's just fine.
What do you mean?
He's worried. We must be getting pretty close to him.
Sure, we're getting close to him, Captain. I tell you that Mr. and Mrs. Hart I've been tailing are chief mules. I'm sure of it.
Well, it's worth a try. Have you booked that Mexican peddler you just brought in, Chitwood?
No, he's still outside.
Okay, bring him in.
Right. Come in, Pedro.
Si, senor.
Pedro, we've got plenty on you to send you to the big house for a nice long stay.
Oh, please, Senor El Capitan, you not do that to Pedro. Pedro, one good citizen and taxpayer. Pedro, not a bad man.
Here's the 2 ounces of narcotics we found on you. You can't deny that.
Oh, no, but you see, this is the very first time I do anything like this. You let me go, huh? I never do it again.
I think maybe we can arrange something like that.
Oh, gracias, Senor El Capitan, gracias.
On one condition.
Si, senor?
That you do a little favor for us.
Oh, si, senor. Of course, anything I can do.
You know a man and his wife by the name of Howard? Mr. and Mrs. Sandy Howard?
Sandy Howard? Oh, si, I know him.
I want you to buy 3 ounces of morphine from them.
You want me to... Oh, but I do not understand. Oh, it is a trap, huh? So you can arrest me all over again. But I don't understand that. I'm arrested already.
No, I don't want to arrest you all over again, Pedro. I'm after bigger fish than you. I want to arrest Sandy Howard and his wife.
Oh, I see. And for buying 3 ounces from them, you will let me go free?
I think we can arrange it if you promise not to peddle any more junk.
Oh, si, I promise. On the word of a Gonzales.
Well, we'll give you a chance. Now, here's what you do. You call Sandy Howard and make a date with him to make the buy. We'll have 2 officers hidden in the rumble seat of your car. After you've given Howard and his wife the marked money...
Where do I get the marked money?
Don't worry, we'll provide that. And after they've given you the morphine, you clap your hands together and say, "Now I can make myself a little dinero."
I clap my hands together like this and say, "Now I can make myself a little dinero."
That's right. And that'll be the signal for the 2 men in the rumble seat to make the arrest.
Oh, it is very simple. I'm glad for to do this thing for my good friends.
Pedro makes a date to meet the Howards at Beaudry and First Streets. Around the corner, Captain Seeger spots 6 police cars with plainclothesmen at the wheels. Pedro, with 2 officers hidden in the rumble seat of his car, drives up to the corner. A moment later, Mr. and Mrs. Howard arrive in their car. Howard saunters over to Pedro, and to Seeger, watching from the opposite corner, there appears to be an argument.
Something's gone on, Captain. Pedro's getting out of his car.
And do you suppose that Mexican's double-crossing us?
I don't know, but he's getting into Hard's car. They're swinging around. Well, I'll be darned.
What?
They're onto the whole thing. Look, Mrs. Hard's giving us the bird. She's thumbing her nose at us.
Follow them. Don't let them get out of sight.
Okay, Captain.
Now, wait a minute. There's no use following them.
Why not?
They're wise. If we tail them, they'll just give us the runaround. Might as well go back to the corner and hope that Pedro's on the level and bring them back there somehow.
That's the funniest thing I ever heard. I did not know the Bulls was on my tail, Senor Howard.
Yeah? Well, you won't get very far in this game if you don't wise up to things like that.
Sure. We never take a chance. They wouldn't have got a thing on us if they had stopped us.
Why? What do you mean? You didn't bring the morphine?
Not with us. Do you think we're nuts?
Where do you take me, then?
Not far. Down this next block here.
All right. Let's have the dough, Pedro.
See, but where's the morphine?
It's stashed in that hedge. Hand us over the dough and go pick it up for yourself.
Well, okay. But it's a very funny business.
It's a very safe business if you do it this way.
Where do you say the closet is?
Right there in front of you.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I see him.
Okay, Pedro. We got the money, you got the junk. Call us up when you need some more.
Now, wait a minute, Senor Howard.
What's the matter?
You're not going to leave me way out here on Sunset Boulevard, are you?
Sure, why not?
But my car, she's all the way over on Baudry. I cannot walk so far. It's too hot.
We might as well take him back, Sandy.
Okay, hop in, Pedro. Well, there you are, Pedro. Right alongside your own car. How's that for service?
Oh, bueno. Gracias, senora. I'm very much pleased to have this stuff. Very much. Now I can make myself a little dinero.
Yeah, Pedro.
Hey,
you want
Sandy,
to give
look. There's a couple of cops in that rumble seat. Get going.
Hey, stop. Halt. Hey, take off. Follow them. We can't move. Our feet and hands are asleep.
Okay, Tom.
Ought to be able to get his tires now, Captain.
I'll try. Almost.
You hit the gas tank.
Here goes again.
That did it. He won't go far on that flat.
Force him over to the curb. Okay, pull over.
What's the fuss, officer?
Plenty. You're under arrest for violation of the State Poison
Yeah,
Act.
you'll have a hard time proving that.
Not with that marked money Pedro gave you.
Oh, had the stoop to using a stool pigeon, huh, Copper?
Listen, I'll use anything to get Nails Cronin, and the sooner you realize that, the easier your life will be for the next few years.
Into jail are clapped Mr. and Mrs. Sandy Howard, while Captain Seeger, striving to smoke out Nails Cronin, has the district attorney set their bail at $100,000 each. Buzzing are the efforts of Cronin's attorneys to lower the bail. Loud are the wailings of Mr. and Mrs. Howard. But silent rejoinder to pandemonium, they remain in jail. Finally, after a month in the Bastille, the Howards are separately interviewed. Of the two, Mrs. Howard seems the most pliable.
Well, Mrs. Howard, how about it? Ready to give us the lowdown on Nails Cronin?
Listen, Flatfoot, I ain't talking. I told you that 30 days ago. It still goes.
You still deny you're one of Nails Cronin's mules, huh?
I never heard of Nails Cronin, and the only mules I know anything about would be bed slippers to you.
It'd be sort of nice to slip into those mules of yours and wrap yourself in your filmiest negligee after a month in jail, wouldn't it, Mrs. Howard?
What are you driving at?
Just this. We know all about you and your husband. We know you're running dope for Nails Cronin. We know that Cronin's attorneys have been trying to reduce your bail. That, my dear Mrs. Howard, is the reason we placed it so high. Now, after a month in jail, you ought to realize that even if he is a big shot, Cronin can't raise $200,000 to spring you and your husband. Either he can't or he doesn't think you're worth it.
Oh, is that so? Well, I'll have you know that I'm just as important.
Now, Mrs. Howard, don't let me forget that I think you're a lady.
What do you want?
Certainly not you and your husband. We want Nails Cronin, and you're going to help us get him.
You're barking up the wrong tree.
All right, I know that story, and I'm tired of it. I said you're going to help us get him.
Okay. For a price.
Which is?
Sandy's freedom.
All right, Mrs. Howard. We'll go further than that. We'll do our best to get the district attorney to drop charges against not only your husband, but yourself, if you'll play ball with us until we get Cronin.
It's a deal.
With one more stipulation.
What's that?
That neither you nor your husband go back to the narcotic racket.
Okay. That's a deal, too.
And if you do, we'll fix you up with a nice long-term lease on a Marine View apartment at San Quentin.
So Captain Seeger and the district attorney arranged to reduce the bail on Mrs. Howard so that Cronin's attorneys can meet the figure. Immediately upon her release, Mrs. Howard is taken to the detective's office.
Well, Captain, here I am. Practically a free woman again.
That's fine, Mrs. Howard.
Now what do I have to do to spring Sandy?
Well, let's see. We've got to make this sound legitimate. I'll tell you. You call Cronin and tell him you want to buy 100 ounces of morphine so you can raise the dough for Sandy's release.
Okay. Hand me the phone. You know, Cap, I never thought much of cops before I met you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Why, now I almost got myself believing you're human beings. Hello, Nails? Yeah, this is Birdie. I just got out. And say, Nails, thanks a million for springing me. Gosh, I don't know what to say. Yeah, that Pogey ain't no boudoir. But say, how about Sandy? Oh, I know you ain't got $100,000, but I ain't got a husband neither. Listen, here's the dope. I can unload a lot of stuff. My customers' tongues are hanging out. Yeah, say about 100 ounces. What? $4,000? Well, ain't that a little steep? Okay, I got to get that guy of mine out of jail no matter what. Yeah, okay, Nails. In an hour.
Well?
He fell for it. I'm to go to the top of Angel's Flight in an hour from now, get a cab there, and go to the corner of 4th and Alvarado. There'll be a car there waiting for me, and it'll take me to him, only
Only what?
Oh, he wants me to bring the cash with me. $4,000.
$4,000? We haven't got that much money available for purchases.
Well, that's the deal. Cash on the line.
Well, all right. I got a friend who can raise it. I'll sign my personal note for it.
Your personal note?
Sure. You don't know how anxious I am to get that bird.
With grave misgivings, Captain Seeger follows Mrs. Howard and his $4,000 in marked money from Angel's Flight to the corner of 4th and Alvarado, where Mrs. Howard transfers from the cab to a yellow coupe driven by a Negro chauffeur, which takes her to the corner of Highland Avenue and Sunset Boulevard, where she again changes cars to enter the armored limousine of Nails Cronin, which immediately starts up Highland for Mulholland Drive. Here, for fear of being detected by the wily Cronin, Seeger is forced to abandon the chase and return to his office, where for the next several hours he nail-bitingly awaits a telephone call from Mrs. Howard. Finally, it comes.
Seeger speaking.
This is Bertie Howard, Cap.
Where are you?
Down on the beach at the Pango Canyon.
What happened?
He had the stuff stashed down here in the canyon. I turned over the dough to him and picked up the merchandise.
Are you alone?
Yeah, he left me. He's gone to his house on South
Yeah, I know where it is.
Well, he's either there or at his service station on Beverly.
Okay, Bertie. We'll get on him right away. You want a car to pick you up?
No, thanks. I still got bus fare.
While Seeger leads one detachment of men to Cronin's house, another detail of detectives speed to Cronin's gasoline station to watch out for him. At the house, Seeger runs into an unforeseen difficulty.
Hey, Joe, you and a couple of the boys beat it around to the back of the house. Those dogs are better than a siren. Don't let anyone make a getaway.
Right. We can't go in through this gate. Those hounds will tear us to pieces.
A couple of slugs will fix them.
Hey, wait a minute. Somebody's opening the door.
What you all want?
Quiet down these dogs and let us in.
There ain't nobody home.
You heard me. Quiet down these dogs.
I said there ain't nobody home.
Now listen, girlie. I like dogs, and I'd hate to have to shoot such nice animals as these. But if you don't quiet them down, I'm going to let them have it.
Who is you all?
Officers of the law.
Oh, that's different. Quiet, Zeus. Quiet, Zeus. Quiet, you know? Shut up, you hound dog. Get back under that porch. Go on, quiet. Now, what you all run here?
Where's Nails?
Nails? Oh, what you talking about? We ain't got no nails.
You know what I mean. Nails Cronin.
He ain't at home.
Well, we're coming in.
I don't know whether I would let you do that.
No? Well, you think about it while we look the joint over. Come on, boys.
Knowing that he must present his case in court, Captain Seeger, failing to find any evidence beyond a .45 caliber gun with the serial numbers filed off, has his men make careful scale drawings of the interior of the house. When this work is completed, a strange discovery is made.
Hey, Cap, look here.
What?
I've been making the measurements in the living room, and Bob's been making them in the dining room. But they don't jibe with the outside measurements of the house.
What are you talking about?
Hey, look, Cap. There's a 3-foot difference between the living room and the dining room.
Well, I'll be darned.
Don't seem to be any other place to make up the difference.
Might be a hidden closet.
Well, but the way the house is built, I don't see how it could be. Look, between the two rooms is a bookcase.
Well, let's see. This is a stucco wall. We'll see how solid it is. Well, this is as hollow as your head, Bob. See if you can find an opening, some sort of secret panel that slides or something.
Yeah, like E. Phillips Oppenheim stories, huh?
Yeah, sure. Real detective stuff. And Harry, you better bring in that axe from the car.
Right.
Huh? Cap, this is all solid paneling and bookcases.
Oh. No secret spring, huh?
No. There's a lot of funny books, though. The Decameron by I saw my Italian. You ever hear of that book, Cap?
Yeah, sure. You better pass that one by.
And here's Don Blanding's poetry. Hey, I know that one, Cap. Boy, that guy can really write poetry. You know, he's almost as good as Eddie Guest. You know that one of his about the Vagabond House? Boy, that's beautiful.
Yeah, just like a mail order catalog.
Huh? Say, I don't get you.
Here's your X, Captain.
Oh, fine. Now smack it in that bookcase. Somewhere around Don Blanding, will you, Harry?
Sure. Who's he?
Hey, don't do that.
It's given, Cap. Just veneer panel.
That's fine. Tear it away. Give him a hand, Bob.
Okay. The same, though. He ruined that book of poetry.
Well, let's forget literature for a minute.
Hey, chap, look. For the love of Mike. Look at those 5-gallon cans of alcohol.
A sight for sore eyes. Now, at last, we got something on Mr. Nails Cronin.
There must be 50 cans in there.
And look at the package of narcotics.
I don't care about that. See if you can find my $4 grand.
Oh, here's a cash box. And it ain't even locked. Boy, Nails was sure confident.
Well, open it up, quick.
Sure a lot of dough in here.
Let's see it. Boy, what a relief.
What do you mean, Cap?
Here's my $4 grand, all marked and tucked away. This is all we need on Mr. Cronin, boys. The case is closed. What we want now is Mr. Cronin himself. Let's go.
Where to?
To his service station.
Leaving Cronin's house under guard of 2 detectives and placing the Negro maid under arrest, Seeger and his men drive to Cronin's service station. Approaching the brilliantly lit corner, they drive up behind the police car, which has been detailed to stake the place. Captain Seeger talks with his men.
How about it, Chitwood?
He's in there. Been in there for an hour and a half. We've had our eye on him all the time.
Good. Come on.
How'd you make out at the house?
Well, we've got plenty on this bird now.
Hey, there he is. Sitting behind the desk in there.
Come on.
Well, if it ain't the law.
You're under arrest, Cronin.
Hey, will you guys quit wasting my time and yours? You know you can't get anything on me.
We got plenty on you now, Cronin.
Yeah, what's the charge?
Violation State Poison Act.
Why don't you get a new gag?
We mean business, Cronin. We're taking you in.
Yeah, keep your bracelets in your pocket. I'll go along. I'll be out a half hour after I get to Central. Jaime.
Yeah, Chief.
Call the mouthpiece. Tell him to meet me at Central.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of good that'll do, Cronin.
That's what you think.
Captain Seeger escorts the arrogant Cronin into the squad room at Central and presents him with the facts.
Now, Cronin, listen carefully.
I demand my mouthpiece. I won't say a word.
You don't have to. And we ain't letting you talk to your mouthpiece, are we, boys?
Hey, this is unconstitutional.
You're a fine one to talk about constitutionality.
You can't make me talk.
Now, listen, Cronin, will you be quiet for a minute? So far, you've done all the talking. Now, listen. Get this. No one's asking you to talk. We're just asking you to listen.
Oh, I see. Gotta hear a bedtime story, huh? Crime don't pay. The policeman's your friend and all that bunk, huh?
You'd be a lot better off if you'd listened to him before. Now, pipe down and get this. You're through. We got enough on you to send you up for a neat little stretch.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I haven't got any tricks up my sleeve. Now, here's the lowdown. You sold 100 ounces of morphine to Mrs. Howard today. She paid you with my money I marked myself. We just raided your house and recovered that money. And you know what we found when we found the money. 55-gallon cans of alcohol and $10,000 worth of narcotics. Well, how about it, Nails? Think your mouthpiece will do you any good now? Think you can talk a jury out of that evidence?
Captain.
Yeah?
Can I talk to you privately?
Sure. Come on into my office. You'll pardon us, won't you, boys?
All right. Go ahead, Captain.
Sit down, Nails. Cigar?
Yeah. Thanks.
Light?
Thanks, Captain.
Now, what's on your mind?
Look here, Captain. You really got the goods on me?
Enough to give you a maximum sentence.
That's sort of tough, ain't it?
Sort of.
Look here, Captain. Here's a key. Key to my safe deposit box. There's $50,000 in that box in cash. Look, you take the key. Help yourself to 20 grand.
I can't let you go now.
I know it, but all I ask is this. You take 20 grand and forget some of the evidence you got against me. I know I got to take some kind of a rap, but
You can make it easy on me, Captain.
How do you know I won't take the whole 50 grand?
Because you're an honest man, Captain Seeger.
Boys, Cronin just offered me a $20,000 bribe to go easy on him. Here's the key to his safe deposit box.
I guess that cooks your goose, Cronin. Come on.
Wait a minute, Captain.
You're right, Cronin. I'm an honest man, and I'm not taking any bribes. That, my dear Cronin, is part of the job of being an honest man.
Captain Seeger. Don't send me out, Captain. Don't send me to the big house. Don't make yourself out, please.
Take him to the cell, Sergeant.
Wait, you can't do this. I can't please it, man. Give me a break.
Well, boys, there goes the man they said Jim Davis couldn't get. There goes the big shot of the Los Angeles racket. There goes a big crybaby.
Yeah. He reminds me of that guy in that gangster picture, Cap. He could dish it out, but he couldn't take it.
Yes, Nails Cronin could dish it out, but he couldn't take it. He took plenty, though, when he went to court. And when he found the evidence Captain Seeger piled against him, he welched again and pled guilty to selling morphine to Mrs. Howard. Judge Doran sentenced him to San Quentin for a maximum of 6 years. 5 years later, he was out, and 6 months after his release, he was picked up for picking a pocket at a picnic in Sycamore Grove. Nails Cronin, self-styled big shot, had found his level, a cheap, petty crook. We taught him that time that crime doesn't pay.
Thank you, Chief Davis. True detective mysteries, which are broadcast over this program, also appear in story form in the Calling All Cars News. You get this unique publication free of charge every month wherever Rio Grande cracked gasoline is sold. And in this month's issue of the news, you will find illustrations and descriptions of 9 free gifts, which make up the complete junior detective outfit for boys and girls. You can help your young friends get these junior police outfits, if you will, by just driving to a Rio Grande cracked gasoline pump next time you fill up. It costs you no more than ordinary gasoline. But when this super-refined tetraethyl-treated fuel reaches your carburetor, you'll get the thrill of faster starting, lightning acceleration, greater power, and police car performance.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars, attention all cars. Cancellation broadcast 102. Nails Cronin now in custody. That's all. Rosenquist.
Frederick Lindsay bidding you.
Gee, Joe, don't take that attitude. After all, I didn't bump off the copper, you did. I got to protect myself.
Get out! Get out!
Hello. It made Drexel 72581. Yeah, that's right. The dirty pink. It ain't gonna be healthy around this town for him from now on. Hello, Eddie. This is Joe. Yeah, I know, but I couldn't meet you out in Westwood. No, I got held up. Now listen. Get over here right away, will you? Bring along some bandages and iodine. Yeah, I just pulled a beef. I need some help. Hurry up.
All right, folks, you have to clear this office. Now, keep these people out of here.
Okay, Lieutenant Condapper. Come on, folks. Got to clear the room out here. We got an investigation going on here.
Now, young fella, you say these 2 men held up you and Pete, the janitor?
That's right.
What did they look like?
Well, I didn't get a good look at the one guy. He kept out of the light. The other one had on a blue overcoat. He was about 25, I guess.
What kind of complexion?
I couldn't tell. He had a scarf half over his face, and he wore a white cap pulled low over his forehead.
An American? Hey, what is it?
American.
They're busy. The lady's car has been stolen, and we have...
Send her in here.
Right, all right, lady. You can go in now.
Stupidity in all my born days, trying to keep me out of this, I declare.
All right, lady. You're in now. What's the trouble?
Well, I
I heard that a man had been shot here, and my car's been stolen, and I think you ought to know about it.
Well, you see, madam, we're investigating a murder. Now, if you'll just report the theft of your car to the auto detail, I'm sure they'll take care of it for
Now, you look here, officer. If you don't hear me out, you'll be sorry.
you. Oh, very well. Go ahead.
Well, about a half hour ago, two men came across the street from this direction and got into my car. When I told them to get out, the one said he was taking his friend to the hospital, and they promised to bring my car back, but they haven't returned it. And I got to thinking that maybe they were the ones that did the shooting, and so
What
I
did they
thought
look like?
Well, one of them had on a blue overcoat. He was the one that was hurt.
You said one of them wore a blue overcoat, didn't you, young fella?
That's right, and a white cap.
Did your man have on a white cap, lady?
No.
Did either of them have on a white cap?
No, I don't think they did.
Ryan. Get the boys outside and tell them to look for a white cap. One of those birds lost his between this room and the other side of the street.
Right.
Now, what was the license number of your car, lady?
Let me see. It was 5V1895. Yes, that's right. 5V1895.
Make?
A Plymouth sedan.
Color?
Blue.
Year?
1929.
You'll broadcast that information right away. Hello, Jack. Condeffer speaking. Take this down for broadcast to all cars on KGPL and all points on state teletype. You ready? Stolen car, wanted in connection with murder, Lieutenant Hugh Crowley. Badge number 17. 1929, blue Plymouth sedan. License number 5 Victor V. That's right. 1895. Suspects are thought to have escaped in this car. If found, hold, notify Central Homicide at once. Yeah, that's all. Get it out right away.
Here we are, Frank. Boys found these outside.
Ah, that's more like it. 10 finger stalls and the white cap.
Well, what are those rubber glove fingers for?
To hide fingerprints. But they shouldn't have thrown them away so soon. That car of yours will be covered with prints now. Hello, Hudson? Condeffer. Yeah. Connection with the murder of Hugh Crowley. We just found the cap worn by suspect number 1.
Calling All Cars, a copyrighted program created by the Rio Grande Oil Company.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars, attention all cars, broadcast 100 regarding a shooting at a theater in Westwood. Stand by for further details. That's all. Rosenquist.
Thousands of boys and girls have joined the Rio Grande Junior Police Department and now proudly wear genuine metal police badges and carry siren whistles, police handcuffs, police pistols, and other detective equipment. The complete junior detective outfit is furnished free of charge to every youngster who enlists in Rio Grande's war on crime. For pictures and descriptions of these free gifts, see the latest issue of the Calling All Cars News, which any independent dealer selling Rio Grande cracked gasoline will gladly give you absolutely free. The connection between Western police departments and the Rio Grande Oil Company is a unique one. To aid police to prevent crime, executives of the Rio Grande Oil Company dig deep into official police records and get the facts for these true radio programs and the true detective stories in the Calling All Cars News. And to aid police in catching criminals and lawbreakers, Rio Grande has created a gasoline which is quite different from other motor fuels. It is made by the most costly refining process known, called cracking. And Rio Grande's fine new cracking plant is the only one in the West licensed to produce gasoline by this patented process. Police officials of leading cities and counties in California and Arizona have tested all gasolines. And they have chosen this special process, Rio Grande cracked gasoline, to power more police cars, ambulances, motorcycles, and other emergency equipment than any other brand. And this is exactly the same Rio Grande cracked gasoline featured by independent service stations, because although it is costlier to manufacture, Rio Grande cracked sells at competitive prices. Its greater efficiency gives you more miles per gallon. So by using Rio Grande cracked gasoline in your car, you can enjoy police car performance at no extra cost. Once more, we are pleased to present Chief James E. Davis of the Los Angeles Police Department. Chief Davis.
Good evening, friends. Tonight is the 100th broadcast of Calling All Cars. It was with a certain amount of misgiving that I appeared on that first broadcast 100 weeks ago tonight. But my desire to bring the policeman's side of the story to the public outweighed the fear of possible criticism. The public spirit and civic-mindedness of the Rio Grande Oil Company in maintaining these broadcasts, and the unflagging zeal of William N. Robeson, their author and producer, in dramatically presenting them have justified my decision. In that first broadcast, nearly 2 years ago, I remember saying that I hoped as you listened to these programs, you would have a deeper understanding of your friend, the policeman, and a keener realization of the constant battle he wages to keep your city a decent place in which to live. I believe now that nearly 2 years have passed, that this program has accomplished all I hoped for it at the beginning, and I am deeply grateful to the Rio Grande Oil Company, to Mr. Robeson, and to my brother officers throughout the Southwest who have thrown open their confidential files and contributed many interesting and thrilling cases to this splendid radio program.
Hey, Pete! Pete, hurry up and open this door.
I'm coming.
Oh, you'd think this movie theater was the Bank of England, the way you got it locked up. I'm late, and I got a lot more film to pick up this morning.
Hey, can't you wait till the fella gets here? There's down the washroom, mopping up. This rheumatism of mine don't let me get around as fast as I used to.
Yeah, I know, but I'm in an awful hurry. It's 9:45 now, and I got a lot more places to call. Where's the film?
Well, in the manager's office, where it always is, I suppose. I ain't been in there yet.
Okay, you got the key?
Yeah, here it is.
Boy, they keep you jumping down to the exchange, Pete. You got it easy compared to my job, picking up films all morning and delivering them all afternoon.
Yeah, I know, but you ain't got my rheumatism.
Say, Pete, this door wasn't locked.
It wasn't?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
That's funny. Mr. Stanley must have forgot to lock it last night. He never did that before, though.
Well, you'd better remind him. Now, let's see. Where's this?
Stick him up.
Hey, what is this?
Stick him up and get inside here quick. Shut that door. Now, you open that safe.
Who, me?
Yes, you. Get to work on that combination.
Well, I can't.
You feel that in your ribs, pal? You open that safe, I'll let you have it. Right there.
Well, I don't work here, honest. I just called for the film.
Open that safe.
Well, you can ask the janitor here. I don't know anything about this place.
That's right, mister. He don't work here.
Well, how about you, then? You work here, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, open the safe for us.
Well, I don't know the combination.
Listen, I'm getting tired of this chatter. We're going to have that safe open if we have to blow both of you to bits.
Hey, pipe down, Joe.
Huh?
Somebody's coming.
Get behind the door here. I'll get on the other side.
Hey, Pete, where the devil are you?
Stick him up, mister.
Say, what is this?
I said up. Get your hands away from your hip.
Why, you can't bluff me.
Yeah, who's bluffing?
Gee. Hey, you bumped the guy off. Hey, come on, we got to get out of here.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
What's the matter, Joe?
He got me.
Gee, what do we do?
Get going. Scram. I can make it okay.
Hey, better use this side door, huh?
Sure.
What about those mugs in the office?
We can't think about them now. We pulled a beef. You sure that guy's dead?
Yeah, sure he was. You drilled him swell.
Yeah, but that ain't gonna help any now.
Hey, I don't see Eddie's car.
You didn't expect to, did you? He wasn't to be here until 11:30.
Well, we got to get out of this some way.
Hey, there's a car across the street. See, the dame's just getting out of it.
Yeah. Come on, let's go. I hope she left her keys in the ignition.
Not so fast, Jeff. This thing's bleeding like the devil.
Oh, I'm sorry, pal. Here, let me give you a hand.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, what a break she did leave her here.
Yeah, we think he's wounded. Look, Hudson, get some men out to cover cleaning and dyeing establishments. And run down this laundry mark. It's T, like in Thomas, T153. Right.
Beg pardon, Lieutenant. I just picked this up outside.
Thanks. Hold a minute, Hudson. Mac just found one of the guns. Wait till I look at it. Pick it open, will you, Mac? Yep. This is the one that did the business. 3 shots been fired from it. Hudson, where are the Smith & Wesson factory and find out who they sold a .32-20 revolver to. Serial number 11086. Yeah, that's right. And tell the coroner's office to come out and pick up the body.
Morning, Frank.
Hello, Ryan.
Anything new on the Crowley murder?
Plenty. Radio car 32 picked up the getaway car in West Hollywood at midnight last night. Barlow's gone over it for fingerprint.
Did he find anything?
Yep. The car was covered with the prints of Joe Regan.
Joe Regan. Has he done time?
A few short jolts for bootlegging.
Yeah, what's our first step?
Well, the chief's thrown 60 men into the area around Gardner and Sunset where the car was found. They're trying to locate the men if they're in that neighborhood.
Well, we better get out there then.
All right, let's go.
Yes?
How do you do, lady? Do you know anything about that sedan that was parked across the street yesterday?
What sedan?
Why, it was a blue sedan.
Well, why should I know anything about it? I got plenty to worry with. What about those 3 kids of mine and the mister not working?
Did you see a blue sedan across the street there?
No. Oh, for heaven's sake, the baby's cereal's burning.
Mustn't be anybody home.
Keep on ringing. The radiator's still warm on that car in the driveway.
Oh.
Whatever you're selling, I don't want any.
Hey, open that door.
Say, listen, if you don't go away and stop bothering me, I'll call the cops.
Save yourself the trouble. We're from Central.
Oh, well, gee. In that case, I ain't done nothing.
Maybe so, maybe not. Where you been all night?
Oh, just out on a party. What do you want?
You know anything about a blue sedan that was parked down the street yesterday?
No, I never saw it.
Sure about that?
Sure, well, of course. Hey, look, boys, I don't know nothing about it. Now, please beat it. My husband's working nights, and if he comes home and find me up, oh, he'll raise the devil. Now, beat it, will you? I never saw no blue sedan on the level. I swear I'm telling you the truth.
Come to think of it, I did see that car come up and park. I was hanging out my wash. Of course, I'm usually earlier than that, but I had an awful big wash yesterday. You know, my sister and her husband have been staying with me.
All right, lady. What about the sedan?
Oh, of course. I'm wandering, ain't I?
Yeah, a little.
Well, the sedan drove up, and a man got out of it and walked up towards Sunset Boulevard. A few minutes later, he came back in a taxi cab, and the driver and this man helped the other one out of the sedan. He looked kind of like he was drunk. And they got out in the cab and drove away.
What kind of a cab was it?
A green top, I think.
Come on, Ryan. We want to talk to the driver of that cab.
Come on, pile in.
What are you doing? Why, get right out of my car. I'd like to know what you mean.
I'm sorry, lady, but we got to get to a receiving hospital fast.
I'm hurt, lady.
Yeah, you wait here and I'll bring your car right back.
Well, of all things.
Well, I guess this is far enough away.
Where are we?
West Hollywood. Anybody followed us, we threw them off all right going up over the hills.
Better ditch this car.
Yeah, well, what do we do then?
Get a cab. Here's a stand. No, you fool, don't pull up. Go on down the street and park.
Oh, I get it.
This'll be all right along in here. Now, you go up and get the cab. Tell the driver your pal's drunk. Then come back and pick me up.
Yeah, okay. I'll be right back, Joe. Here we are. Just pull up beside that blue sedan.
Okay.
Give me a hand with my buddy, will you? He's just over here in the car.
Sure. Just goes to show what bad liquor will do to you.
Yeah, that's right. I never touch it myself.
That's a good idea, huh? I'm swearing off.
All right, let me give you a hand here now. Steady. There's a nice soft seat in the back for you.
Okay.
Okay, there we are. All right, Mac, let's go.
Let's go.
Well, we got home anyway. How you feeling, Joe?
Pretty rocky. Put on the radio, will you? Let's have some music.
Yeah. I guess I better call a doctor for you.
Call a doctor. Are you rummy? We'd have the bulls down on us in a minute. You better get some bandages. This thing will have to heal without a doctor.
Yeah, okay. You want to get in bed?
No, I'll lay down on the Davenport.
Well, it didn't turn out like we figured, did it?
No. We'd have been okay if that guy with the gat hadn't shoved his nose into it.
Yeah. I wonder who he was.
I'll bite. Maybe somebody else with the same idea we had. How about getting me some bandages and iodine?
Oh, sure, I forgot. I'll have them sent up. Oh, and Joe, here's $10. The last I got, but You'll probably need it worse than I do.
Why? Where are you going?
Well, I've been thinking I better get going.
Gonna walk out on me when I got a bullet hole in me, huh?
Oh, no, it ain't that,
Why, you
Joe.
yellow rat. If I hadn't dropped that gun out the theater, I'd drill you the same as I did that guy out there.
Oh, now, look here, Joe, be reasonable,
Pipe
will
down.
you?
What's that guy saying on the radio?
For a late newsgram. 2 armed bandits shot and killed Detective Lieutenant Crowley, Special Officer of the Los Angeles Police Department, in the Westwood Theater an hour ago. For further details, read your local newspaper.
Hey, did you hear that, Joe? There was a cover you bumped off.
Well, what of it? He's dead just the same.
Yeah, but every bull in the world will be looking for us now. They'll never stop hunting when it's a copper that's bumped. I'm getting out, Joe. There's the $10.
All right, Rat, get out. Go on, run down to the city hall and squawk to the chief of police. Go on.
No, I won't squeal, Joe. You can count on that.
You're liable to do anything. Go on, scram. The longer I look at your pen, the sicker I get.
Well, so long, Joe. Sorry it didn't turn out the way we figured.
If I get out of this, you'll hear from me later. And if I bump off, remember I got friends.
Oh,